Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. It's Manchester City. I wish it was Manchester United. It's Manchester City against Arsenal in what is without doubt, even as a Manchester United fan, Liverpool fan, Chelsea fan, it doesn't matter. It is the big... I actually feel sorry for the teams that are playing tonight, because if Liverpool are playing tonight, which I think they are, or Chelsea are playing for tonight, you're missing the biggest game of the season. If you love football, then you've got to watch this game. It doesn't matter who you support in it. It's not quite Liverpool against Arsenal back in, was it 89 when they won it? But it's big. It's really big. And Arsenal need to emulate that type of a performance where you go to the enemy's ground and pull off a massive win. But it's a massive game. Lee Berman says, I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this. The teams are on the screen there for you. We're sponsored by Manscaped. We'll talk about that in a minute. Get 20% off with the code FOOTY and free worldwide shipping. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. But I tell you what a game. I think Man City have got the edge, as I previewed on the show earlier. But I can't keep saying as I said, but I always like watching football. I love watching football. That's what this channel is all about. We watch football together. But very rarely do I get massively excited about a game that doesn't actually include Manchester United. And I'm so excited about this one. I think I do feel for Arsenal a little bit. I think they could have been in a bit of a better position. If I'm being honest, I think there was times where they could have played Man City at the start of the season. Remember, they didn't get to play Man City for the first time until February. I think if they had played that game back in, I think it was September, I think they would have beat them, and then it'd be a very different story. But that's just the way, that's life, the way it goes. You can talk about the linesman situation against Brentford. It's the way it goes. But I tell you what way it goes. This is the lineup for Man City: Ederson, Walker starting, Diaz, Akanji, Stones. So they've gone with Akanji, Diaz and Stones. No place for Nathan Ake. I think he's on the bench, or I think he's injured. He's not in the team anyway. Rodri, Gundogan and De Bruyne, and then Bernardo Silva, Grealish and Haaland. Not much of a surprise in their front six. Arsenal, Ramsdale had a couple of mistakes in him recently, but he obviously was never going to be dropped. Ben White at right back, holding, honestly, the weakness in that team with no Saliba. Gabriel and Zinchenko, Odegaard, Partey and Xhaka, Saka, Jesus and Martinelli. So that is how they line up. Benches could be key, but ultimately you go with what you've got at this stage of the season, and I think it's going to be really interesting how it plays out. I'm really intrigued to see possession after the first 10 minutes, intent after the first 10 minutes, and ultimately scoreline after 90 minutes. I don't think a draw is a good result for Arsenal. Well, it is. Any draw at Etihad's a good result, but I think in the context of the title, it's a 5-point gap. A draw, and Man City have got 2 games in hand, and you've got to go to Newcastle. I think Arsenal have got to send a statement here. If I was in charge here, and I'm in no way comparing myself to Arteta or anything like that, but we can all do it. That's why we love the game of football. That's why we play FIFA Football Manager, go to games, watch games. We've all got our own ideas. People don't seem to understand this. I've played the game, or I know better than you. People need to understand that for the last however many years, decades, the beauty of football, the beautiful game, is because we've all got our own ideas on who should play, on how we should play, and who we should buy. And that's the beauty of football. And if I was in charge of Arsenal today, I think I would have got myself into a mindset, if I was Arteta, where I'd analysed this game to absolute death and gone, right, if we draw, where does that leave us? If we lose, it's all over anyway. And I think ultimately, you've got to have a plan to win. And I know that's a bit of a cliche, because everyone will say you always go to win, but it's bollocks. Not everybody goes into every game to win. Some people go into a game to draw. They do. I would be going in this game to win if I was Arteta, because if you lose, it's over. If you draw, I think you're just extending the fact that it's ultimately going to be over. I think you've got to go to try and win, and I think ultimately they beat you at the Emirates. If you want to win this league, you've got to beat the team that's trying to stop you winning it, and that's today. Zayn Miasi is an Arsenal fan. He says, we shall fight them on the beaches. We shall fight them on the landing grounds. We shall fight them on the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender. Come on, you gooners. Hi, Mark says, Skeletons, if you had to put a percentage number on it, what would you say the odds of a Man City treble is? I'm 50-50, mate. I'm 50-50 because I think they're going to win tonight, and therefore I think they've won the Premier League. I think they've got a good chance of beating Real Madrid, and they'll win the final. And they're favourites against Man United. So it's probably not 50% chance, but I just feel the Real Madrid, they've got 3 games really where I think they win if they beat Real Madrid, they beat Man United, and they beat Arsenal, I think they win the treble. Which is logical, obviously, in relate. Well, no, there's still games to come, but I think that's how I feel. Why Arteta doesn't put White at centre-back and use Tamiyasu at right-back? Surely that's better than using Holding, says Jack. I worry about a red card tonight. You know, preempting the game, I'd love to know, just over the next couple of minutes, how you feel this game will go. Because Tom Brooks, thanks for the super chat. Oh, please do subscribe to the channel, by the way, because we're not on 941,000. But just want you, just over the next couple of minutes, to just sort of try and predict where you think this game's going to get won and lost and what worries you a little bit about it. Because I'll tell you what worries me. I worry a lot about the Arsenal lineup in relation to the lack of Saliba, who is the best centre-back Arsenal have. That is a big problem area. And I can't pretend that it's not. Because when you look at it from Man United's point of view, if we play Martinez and Lindelof because Varane is injured, I'm worried about that. Because Lindelof's good, but he ain't Varane. Well, Holding's nowhere near the level of Saliba, and it's a weakness. And I look at the Bayern Munich games and the problems that Upamecano had. And Upamecano plays right centre-back, exactly where Saliba plays. So my problem is, and my concern is, that this game, as much as we built it up and as much as it's fantastic, and I don't want this to happen, but my nightmare is that at some point in the first 20 minutes, half an hour, Haaland gets himself in a foot race with Haaland and Holding, and he chops him down. And then it's game over. And Bayern Munich left themselves so open at the back, and I think Real Madrid will do it as well. Arsenal have to win this game, but they cannot leave themselves open. Manchester City against Bayern Munich, and I've not heard enough people talk about this because it's not really what they've done for years. Man City against Bayern Munich played an A-star game in counter-attacking football. They let Bayern have the possession. They didn't give up any good chances in the box. They let Bayern have the ball all around the pitch, apart from in the final third, in the penalty box. And then, because Bayern were playing, Bayern like to play expansive, risky football, Man City were like picking the ball up from a mistake, looking up. They got 2v2s, 3v3s. Arsenal can't put themselves in that position. They don't need to do that. But they can't also sit back. Man City are a tough team to play against these days because they'll counter-attack you, and if you don't let them do that, they're very used to breaking down low blocks. So they're a bloody difficult team to beat, Man City, but Arteta's got to have a plan to do it. Man City to win the treble is now only 7-4, says Robert. Exactly, it's big. Have Arsenal bottled the league, yes or no? Straight answer, says Tom. Well, there you go. There's a question from Tom. Thanks for the super chat. I do not think that Arsenal have bottled the league. I believe that Arsenal have had an incredible season. To take it this far, I think we should be grateful to them because they've took it this far. Oh my God, I've just seen an update on Manchester United. I mean, I'm not live at the moment. I am live at the moment, but you know what? I've just got to tweet it. But no, I don't think Arsenal have bottled this league in the sense that I think people want to say they've bottled it. It's very hard to bottle something you were never logically favourites to win anyway. Technically, the last 3 games have handed the momentum to Manchester City. Of that, there is no doubt. But they haven't actually lost a game. I think when you bottle something, you've got to fall apart. I don't think they've fell apart. I think they've just hit the buffers in the sense that it's not easy, bruv. Southampton fighting relegation, West Ham fighting relegation, and Liverpool at Anfield. They drew those 3 games. But the problem is, you can call it a technical bottle, but how can you bottle something you've got no experience of and you're already exceeding expectation for anyway? I think that the problem is Man City set the bar. I've said it for a long time. I've said it for years. You want to win this Premier League title, you've got to post 95 points. Arsenal didn't even post 60 last year. So, oh no, maybe they did. But you know what I mean? They didn't post 70, I don't think. It's a lot to do. You've got to post 95 points to even think about winning this Premier League title. And that's a massive thing for someone like Arsenal to do. But I put a tweet out. Oh! What's happening to my stream? Oh. Poor stream status. Are we still live? What's going on here? We don't want any of this tonight. We don't want any of this tonight. We've never had any of this. We don't have this. This doesn't happen. We don't have this. We don't have this. This doesn't happen. We don't have low stream quality tonight. Sabotage. Sabotage, I tell you. I was frozen. Okay. Let it snow. Let me get this sorted. Sorry about that. And it happened when I was typing as well. What the fuck? Oh, don't do this to me now. Don't do this to me now. I need it. I need it. Oh, bear with. Keep the questions coming in. I'll try and get this sorted. This hasn't happened before. Well, it has happened before, but it hasn't happened for ages. Let me try and figure this out. I need to go. Fuck off, cunt. Let's try that. Problem I've got at the moment now is it's decided to take my... It's okay now. Hi, Mark, says Fennec. I can't wait for this game. It's going to be an interesting one. 2-2 draw. Can you also get Gabriel as a moderator on here? I can't do it at the moment, Fennec. I can't do it now. I can't spake, says JS. I can't believe that... I can't get me... It's not all good now because I can't get my bloody stats back. That's my problem. And I can't remember how I did it last time. It's very annoying. Wonder if that will work. I did this the other day and I can't remember what I did. Oh, I hate being under pressure when I'm live. You know when you solve something and you get really smug, but you don't write down how you did it? That's sort of where I am here. Let's try stop all. Somebody said if you stop and start for about 10 seconds, it might work. At least we've got 19 minutes to go. Yeah, I do think Man City will win. I said I thought Man City would win the title at the start of the season. I think for a long portion of this season, Arsenal have deserved to win the title. But reality is, Man City, we all know they've just got that capability of winning every single game. And after today, they've got Fulham, West Ham, Leeds, Everton, Chelsea, Brighton, Brentford. I mean, Brighton away could be a tough game for them. I'd hold on to that if I was Newcastle. But, you know, Man City, they've got Chelsea at home, Newcastle away, Brighton, Forest, Wolves. I just worry that Arteta might look at those fixtures and think, oh, Brighton might do us a favour. A draw's a good result. I don't think a draw is a good result. I really don't. I think they've got to try and win tonight. And doing that, you know, is how I think they can win the game. Game starts at 8:15. No, it doesn't. It kicks off at 8 o'clock. Mark, I beg you please, use your powers to jinx City, says Nelly. Well, I'm trying my best. I keep saying I think Manchester City are going to win the game. Gary Neville's hacked your Wi-Fi, or blame Pogba, says Gareth. I will get there, but I do not like not having my stats on the screen. It's really annoying, so I'm just going to try something else. What will Gary and the rest of the Honourable Overlap members say now, with Glazers still saying if they accept Sir Jim Radcliffe's bid, they surely back Qatar now, says Mario Franco. And Mark, I heard rats in my attic, went up and found... Hey, come on, let's leave Gary Neville alone, Aidan. The thing is, I'm not getting involved in this because Gary might dislike me, But as I said, I only ever mentioned it because the community tab of his overlap was full of my name. And I got made aware of it and I said, I'll do it. And then he said, no, you won't. You'll never be doing it. So it's up to him if he doesn't like me. I don't dislike him. I've never said that. So I don't want to start all that. I'm struggling now. I'm struggling to think what to do. Oh, I think I know what I did. There we go. Something's going on. Something's going on. We might be back in business. Goldbridge, the genius. Come on. Let's be having you then. Let's do it. You know you want to. Something happened there. Here we go. I think we've done it. I think I figured it out. Go on then. It's coming up. I can see it. I can see it. Get in! Get in! No, not title decider. I don't want title decider. We can call it title decider. Let's call it title decider. Get in! 3 points. Goldbridge with the win. How does he do it? Chat, GBT and AI get in the bin. When you've got Goldbridge just pressing buttons and randomly guessing what to do, you know, it's fine. I'm like Homer Simpson when he presses that button to stop the nuclear explosion. I'll just try anything. I'll try anything. I've read the Mike Keegan news. If anyone's interested as a Manchester United fan, and I won't dwell on this too much. Apparently Sir Jim Radcliffe's offer involves keeping the Glazers in power. Get in the bin, Sir Jim Radcliffe. If that is true, I've tweeted it already. Absolute disgrace. Retweet my tweet. Get in the comments at Mark Goldbridge because a lot of people will read it. Get your replies in. I think it's a bloody disgrace if Sir Jim Radcliffe is coming up with an offer to keep in the Glazers. Absolutely rubbish. Bridge GBT has solved it. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. I'm Ronnie Pickering. Anyway, I'm feeling happy again now. There's the league table for you. But as I said, I'm a little bit concerned about Holding and Gabriel against Haaland. If they get in a 2v2 situation and a high line, don't chop him down. Just don't do it. Please don't do it. Keep 11 players on the pitch because that is something that obviously Arsenal will look to explore it in the game. And I've played the game. If Man City win the treble, do you think Haaland can win the Ballon d'Or? Says Alexa. I think it's logical that Haaland can win the Ballon d'Or. Yeah, you know, I think to win the Ballon d'Or, you've got to be winning the Champions League a lot of the times, and you've got to put yourself, you know, in one of the best teams in the world. We've seen it with Ronaldo and Messi for years. Shell says, hi Mark, other than United, who would you want to get top four? Hope you're keeping well, mate. If I could choose who could get top four, it would be Brighton. I don't think they'll do it, but I think they deserve it. I think they've been robbed of about 6 points, which will ultimately probably do them in the end. But yeah, I'd love to see Brighton do it. But I'm not so sure whether they can. Mark, which team do you prefer? Man United 99 or 2008, says Kingswood. Definitely 99. Mark, if Arsenal lose tonight, do they get top four next year? Shout out to Joe, says Tom Brooks. And don't care about these two teams, says Jan. Go and watch the One Show then, or is it over? Why would Sir Jim offer to keep the Glazers in power, knowing full well he would become an instant villain of the fan base, says Stephen. Greed, mate. Greed. You know, it's a little bit like being married to someone you can't stand, but then that person's parents die and you're going to be massively wealthy. I mean, you'll put up with that person you don't like to get hold of what you want. It's not best for Manchester United. So, look, it's coming in from Mike Keegan, and Mike Keegan's been very good on the sale of Manchester United. But if Sir Jim Radcliffe's plan is to buy Manchester United and keep the Glazers there, that is absolutely incredibly stupid, naive, ignorant, and out of touch. And I'd be disgusted by it. But there's nobody. Gary Neville, David Beckham, Cristiano Ronaldo, Al Thani, me, the Red Army, Sir Jim Radcliffe. There is no United fan out there that would ever logically be able to explain to people, trust me, it's a good idea to work with the Glazers. No, they've let that club rot for 17 years. You cannot keep them in power. Whoever is a public enemy of the fans. I think this story is one final attempt to get Qatar to bid $6 billion on Friday. They're playing the game again, says Glennie. And maybe they are. These rich people don't care about you or me, says Internet Explorer. Well, check my tweet if you want to know what's going on, or Mike Keegan's tweets. But absolutely incredible, disgusting stuff. And yeah, no way. In fact, I'm going to reply. Get your score predictions in. I'm going to go 3-1 to Man City. So, yeah, that's just what I'm going to do. Can I just say as well, please do subscribe to the channel. We're on 943,700. Let's see if we can hit 944,000 tonight. Remember, you're all welcome on That's Football. Everybody's welcome. This is a huge game. Biggest game of the season. I wish Man United were in it, but we're not. This is first against second. This is a title decider. It's absolutely massive, and I'm so excited for it, and I'm glad to spend the evening with you. So fasten your seatbelts. We're 10 minutes away from the start of it. Couple of super chats coming in. Thanks for those. You can do them through the $sign. Stephen Rossi says, why would Sir Jim offer to keep the Glazers in power? We've done that one. And why, with this Keegan news, are you worried they might stay? No. Protests on Sunday, isn't it? So Jim will be protested against now if it's true. Do you think this season might be Arsenal's best chance to win the league, given that all of the top teams are going to strengthen next season? I think that's a great point by Stephen, and I don't want to put pressure onto Arsenal, and they won't have it on in the changing room anyway, but I have said this before, and I think Stephen's right. This could be Arsenal's best chance to win the Premier League. I don't think it doesn't mean that they can't win it next year or the year after, but I do think that the way the Premier League is going, Newcastle will be stronger. They've got the finances. If United get bought by Althani, they'll be stronger. They've got the finances. Liverpool or Chelsea or both should logically come back. So, of course, it will be harder to win the Premier League because Man City aren't going anywhere. But I don't think Arsenal could have done any more. I think it's like saying, you won't have a bigger chance next year of winning it as now, like they've actually thrown it away. I think they've tried everything they can to win it this year. Ultimately, they were long shots to win it in the first place. This offer is Ineos by the 4 Glazers who want out and own 50%. Joel and Avram keep 20%. Glazers would be minority. Not what I want, but requires context. Elliot. 4-1 City. Shout out to Nino Calvino, the Arsenal fan in Dubai, who's gone to bed early because he can't handle the pressure, says Tom Brooks. Love it. Yeah, it's certainly a high-pressure game if you're an Arsenal fan. Man City fans, probably not so much. You're probably quite used to it. But, it's a massive game for Arsenal. And they are the underdogs. I think it might suit them. If either team had Goldbridge or Kent in the front three, the title would be secure already. If you know, have a coffee on me. All the best. Toon, says Darren. Thank you very much for your super chat, mate. Appreciate that. 4-1 City, says Tom Brooks. We've read that one out. Is Poch a good fit for Chelsea, says Foxy? I don't think so. It's not my club, but I don't think Pochettino's a good fit for Chelsea at all. I'll be very stunned if I'm wrong on that. And you know where Todd Bowley's made a big mistake? I know a few Chelsea fans who don't want Pochettino. Well, a few Chelsea fans didn't want Potter. If you haven't got the fans behind you 100% from the start, it never works. Ten Hag, 100% of the fans behind him. There's been a bit of bumps, but no one's ever left him. Moyes never had 100% behind him, didn't last very long. Bowley needs to switch himself on and realise if you're going to appoint a manager, you need all your fans behind him from the start. And again, it looks like he's going to get that wrong in a very big way. Don't forget, we're sponsored by Manscaped. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. What's Manscaped? Well, it's this little beauty. It's the Lawnmower 4.0. It's got a light for a more precise shave. You can adjust the length of how short you want to go. It's waterproof. It's got a 4,000 RPM engine. It purrs like... I nearly said something else beginning with P then, which you don't want down there. Well, you do, but not when you shave it. Anyway, you can get 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code footy. You can scan that QR code, or you can go through the video link in the video description. You can also get the Weed Whacker, which has got a brand new design. I had mine delivered last week. What's the Weed Whacker? Well, the Weed Whacker's for up here. Oh, that's got a powerful engine. I'm telling you now. You can get the Weed Whacker as well as part of the performance package or individually. Fantastic products. I had one of these from Boots years ago. The battery ran out halfway through the job. It got stuck on a big hair right up there. I nearly had to go to casualty. I just pulled it out and my eyes were watering for years. It's fantastic products, 20% off, free worldwide shipping with the code footy. Get them through the link in the description. You won't look back. You'll just be looking at down in awe saying that's a big improvement. Check it out. Love your videos. Hope you're well, says Cameron. Yeah, we've got to pump it up today. And if Arsenal win this game, can you see them dropping points with the remaining fixtures compared to City, or would it give them the boost to stay top, says Sam. I think if Arsenal win this game, they win the title. Because they'll never have to go anywhere difficult as difficult. Newcastle away will be difficult. Brighton at home will be difficult. Every game will be difficult if you're playing a relegation team. But if Arsenal win this, I think they win the league. If Man City win this, they win the league. For me, it's a title decider. And that's how they've got to treat it. Cheers from Canada, Mark. Keep up the great work. Look, I've gone 3-1 to City. I'm trying to jinx it, of course I am. But if I'm being completely honest, I like to deal in percentages. And I think that Man City have got a 75% chance of winning this. And Arsenal have got a 25% chance of winning it. Which means if they play this game 4 times, I think that Arsenal have got a 1 in 4 chance of winning. Doesn't mean they can't. Do you reckon Villa will cause an upset and get Europe, says HMS? I think Aston Villa are probably just going to run out of time. Really. I think if there was another 10 games, I think Villa could waltz into top 4. Mark, we don't want the ref to mess this up with early yellow cards, says Marcus. I don't want to see that. I don't necessarily think we will. My big concern about the referee is actually a red card. You know, a red card would ruin the game. And I think Arsenal might be vulnerable to it because of the way Man City play with Erling Haaland. If he gets in his stride, is a red card waiting to happen for a defender. We don't want to see that. But Man City have this advantage. They have the Etihad, which will be full tonight. They have the experience of being in these types of games. Yeah. I tell you what, if Jack Grealish was looking next to me and having a big smile, I'd look him in the face and say, swear at him, or I'd ignore him. I'm not interested in all that. And you lot have all been there and done it. I'm not interested in all that. This is a game of football where, you know, we could be heroes for, you know, with our names etched in eternity. I'm not pissing about having a laugh in the chat, in the tunnel. We're here to win. That's what we're here to do. But that's all game management. You know, some players, they like it when they're having a chat with the opposition and it's all smiley. It makes them feel more relaxed. Screw that for a game of blockbusters. Screw it. Sir Jim Radcliffe realised he can't battle with Qatar, so decided to go against the fans and join up with the Glazers. Absolutely disgusting. He won't be welcome, says Red. And do I have to be worried by the protest on Sunday, says Angela. Can I just say this? Somebody just said that, obviously it's out there. The reality is I'll probably do a video a little bit later on it, but because I want to watch this game. But there is no good angle for Sir Jim Radcliffe to keep the Glazers in place. Somebody just said it in the chat. Oh, he's going to buy 4 of them out. He'll have a controlling stake, but the Glazers will keep 20%. No, I don't care whether you've got a controlling stake or not. They are absolute mercenaries who've ruined this football club. That's just finding a deal to get hold of this football club. The whole point is to get rid of them from this football club, not to keep them. Like, that's just selfish. Oh, I can make United great again, but the Glazers still have 20%. They're still Why would the Glazers want 20%? Dividends again? Profit again? Why do the Glazers want 20% of Manchester United? Because ultimately they want their money. He's already buying the club on debt. And then you've got them debtors still at the club. Get stuffed. There is nothing good about Sir Jim Radcliffe keeping the Glazers at Manchester United. And anybody who tries and twists it is a hypocrite. Because everybody in this football club wants rid of the Glazers. There is no way that keeping the Glazers, even if it's 10%, is a good decision. It's a bad decision. You're meant to be liberating the football club. And that, you can clip this, these new owners, whether it's Al Thani or Sir Jim, Their message was liberation of Manchester United after 17 years of mercenary, greedy, relentless greed and utter disgrace. It's meant to be a liberation. It's not liberation by going, oh, we'll keep you in power and we'll have more power, but we'll work together. That's not liberation. That's negotiating with mercenaries. No, absolutely not. Anyway, back to the game. That's what we're here for. This is the biggest game of the season. It is Arsenal against Manchester City at the Etihad. Who's going to win this one? Well, Man City will be huge favourites, of course. But let's get the stats carousel going round. We're sponsored by OneFootball for that. You can get individual stats if you want through the OneFootball app. Download it for free on Apple and Android. Let's get ready to go. I'm ready. Are you ready? Because I'm ready. I hope Arsenal are ready. Will it be fast-paced? Who knows? Let's do it. Let's do it. And I want Arsenal to win. I want Arsenal to win because I'd rather Arsenal won the league. I'm not going to hide that. I want Arsenal to win because I think if Man City win, the title is won. Hopefully there's not too much respect between Pep and Arteta. I mean, they're basically snogging here. But no, they weren't. Did you see the Johnston tackle on Wolves player and ref gave yellow and a pen? It was definitely worse than Casemiro, says Tusha. I thought Mitoma tackle on Casemiro was worse than Casemiro's that he got a red for, if I'm being honest. Right, let's get ready to rumble here. Scouse's score updates is Joshua Bowwater. I think they're losing to West Ham, which is probably good, but I've just seen somebody on Twitter saying the Sir Jim offer technically is the same as a full takeover. Kiss my arse. Kiss my arse. How's it the same as a full takeover when you're keeping them even with 1%? It's not the same as a fucking full takeover if you're allowing them to stay and keep any percentage, because that means that they've got to say on profits, shares, the lot. Anyway, we're up and running here. The timer is not on the screen, but we're ready to go as Arsenal take on Manchester City at the Etihad. We're ready to go here. And we're up and running anyway. We're only 200 subscribers away from 944,000. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Thanks everyone tuning in here. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. West Ham are beating Liverpool. Thanks for the updates. Arteta's signings were brilliant this year, says Enjoy Writing. Thanks for that. Well, as I said, let me get these stats going round because I'm really, really going to be keeping a strong eye on how and we've got the league table, which will update as it stands as well for you going round there. But I'm really interested to see what the stats are after the after 10 minutes. I think that's going to be a real insight. Man City here, just passing it around the back. Gundogan. They've got to police Haaland. Here's De Bruyne in the box. Cross into the box, looking for a handball there. Gundogan was chasing it. Michael Oliver says no. Don't be giving handballs. They'll be out for everything here. They will be out for everything. They'll want it all. But it's all Man City here. Grealish down the left-hand side. Good cross. Ramsdale! What are you doing, Ramsdale? He's given a foul against De Bruyne. Good start here by Michael Oliver. Peps does a wry smile. Now they're looking on VAR. Let's have a look. Ramsdale. I don't know. That could be a penalty to Man City. I think that's going to be a penalty to Man City. I do. I think it's going to be a penalty to Man City. I really, really do. Oh, for God's sake. No, he's playing on. He's playing on. I've got to say, I really thought that was going to be a penalty. Whew. You know what? I will try my best to be fair here. It's 1-1 between Liverpool and West Ham, by the way. I will try my best to be fair here, but I always look at it from a Man United point of view. And if that's Marcus Rashford, then he's been blocked off from shooting by somebody blocking his foot. Anyway, it's better for the game. I think if Liverpool don't get European football next season, they could be a contender for the league. That team without midweek games will do damage, says Bryce. Ramsdale is a liability the last 4 matches, says the HB. Well, he caused the trouble there. I don't know what he's doing, palming it to there. Daniel Phillips says 100% a penalty, and I hate City. Well, that's sort of how I feel. I think that is a penalty to Manchester City. Nice ball. Saka, good cross. Walker's not there. What a start to the game, though. And I don't want it to be a penalty to Man City, by the way. I think I'm over the moon. I'm over the blue moon that it's not a penalty. But, you know, I've moaned enough about refereeing decisions this year, and I think it probably was a penalty. But it's not been given. So, you know, you move on. You got to move on. There are other games going on tonight. I will endeavour to keep you updated with them. It's gone now. You've just got to move on. So, there are other games going on if you're interested. I mean, it's 0-0 between Forest and Brighton at the City Ground after 37 minutes. It's 0-0 at Stamford Bridge between Chelsea and Brentford after 21 minutes. And it is 1-1 between West Ham and Liverpool after 22 minutes. West Ham did take the lead, but an equaliser from Gakpo there. Please do subscribe to the channel, bottom right hand corner. We're on the road to 944k. You're all welcome on the channel. This is the biggest game of the Premier League season. There's no doubt about it. The odds, well, the stakes actually, and I'm not talking about the ones you get off a cow. I'm talking about the stakes in relation to the title race. Couldn't be higher. It's got an intensity. It's got a flavour. It's got a feel. And here they go again. Lovely layoff by Haaland. De Bruyne, he's going to hit this. What a goal. What a goal by De Bruyne. Ramsdale again should not be getting beaten from there, but it is a brilliant, brilliant goal. What a team goal by City. The big, cometh the man, cometh the hour. That is just absolutely fantastic. And I've got to say, Ramsdale again, beaten, should not get beaten from there. Ben Foster may tell me something different because he likes him, but I do not think at this level, in a game like that, you should be getting beaten. And again, Arsenal have started like they don't believe. I mean, it's a long ball. It's a long ball from Man City into Haaland. He lays it off. And who's this defender? I bet it is. It's Gabriel. He never should get beat from there. Ramsdale never should get beaten from there. That's 3 games in a week. 3 goals in 3 games. He should not be getting beaten from here. The finish by De Bruyne is brilliant. The curl on it's fantastic. But he shouldn't get beat from there. He shouldn't. There's a lot of curl on it. A lot of curl on it. But Ramsdale shouldn't get beat from there. Front post glitch. Martinelli will be crucial tonight. Can see him making a difference, says Dan. Well, whether it's crucial or not, the fact is Man City could have had a penalty for a foul on De Bruyne. They've now got a goal from a long ball, and look, you know what? I've always been quite critical of Man City, and I find them a little bit boring to watch. But the interesting thing about Erling Haaland is he does make them a little bit more easy on the eye. That's a hoof ball to the halfway line to a target man who lays it off, and before you know it, it's a goal. It's a counter. And that's what Man City are this season. They're very good at mixing things up. But defensively, you've got to defend well. And Arsenal's defence is shaky. 3 goals conceded at home to Southampton. 2 goals conceded at West Ham. 2 goals conceded at Anfield. And already in the first 10 minutes, they're 1-0 down here. And they've given themselves a mountain to climb because they look nervous. They look like they don't believe. And they had to believe. And Man City will hunt them down now. Nice ball. Zinchenko. But look at the cover. And I think there might have been an offside anyway. Is it game over already? Says Charlie H. Well, it's going to be difficult already, that's for sure. It's a great goal from Manchester City. I said what a great team goal it was. The transition from back to front, the hold-up play from Haaland, the drive from De Bruyne, and then the shot is good. But the keeper should save it. You know, I think from there you expect De Bruyne, if he's going to score, to whack it in the top corner. He's gone low. It's a cutter across the grass. That makes it harder for the keeper to get down. But he shouldn't be getting beat from there. Good finish or not, he shouldn't get beat from there. And you know what? Ultimately, I think Pep's got a big grin on his face. He knows Arteta loves him. He knows Arteta worships him. And I think at the end of the day, that's a little bit too cosy. Can you let us know what Sean Dyche thinks of that goal? We love you, Mark. Says, I don't really want to do Sean Dyche this early. I really don't want to do Sean Dyche this early. There's a long night ahead of us. It's a hard job when you're down 1-0 after 10 minutes against a team like Man City. But it's not over yet. There's still time. The trouble is there's no room for error. There's no room for error at 2-0. I mean, look at this. Look at the space City are getting here. And I tell you what, Arsenal are doing exactly what Bayern Munich did. For some reason, you're at the Etihad. Why are you constantly being broke on? What is it? What is it about teams like Bayern Munich and Arsenal that think they can go to the Etihad and leave themselves 4v4? Where's your fucking midfield? Why are you so open at the back? Look at this. If this falls down, it's 3v3. Where's the bloody... where's the defence? Where's their midfield? Opinions on Poch to Chelsea, says Alfie. I think it's a terrible mistake. Yeah, I think it's a terrible mistake. I don't rate Gabriel. Their season was done once Saliba went down, says Tamba. Well, a lot of Arsenal fans said that. They're not strong defensively. I mean, look, you can talk about Ramsdale doing better, but ultimately, should Kevin De Bruyne be running at your centre backs and skipping past them like that? It's a good point. But I don't know where Arsenal's midfield is. It's just not there. But Arsenal can create chances. That's what they've got to do. You know, for all the goals they've conceded, they haven't lost any of their last 3 games. So they have got goals in them, and they better bloody find them. Ends the season, says Oshin. Arteta out, says Purple Butterfly. Well, I don't think you can account for the fact in the last 3 games, Ramsdale probably should have saved 3 goals. And any of those saves would have you in a better position. Party off and Jorginho on, says Ajn. Why is England capped Ben playing for World 11? I don't know, Joshua Bowwater. I think you're talking about Soccer Aid. That's a very good point. If Spurs get Nagelsmann and Chelsea get Poch, who do you think has the better coach, short, long term? Spurs, Tom. Yeah, definitely Spurs. 1-0 to Brighton in all that, by the way. They've gone 1-0 up just before half-time against Nottingham Forest. This Arsenal team is about 3 Prems worth of experience away from winning anything. Look at them folding. It's pitiful, says Shaunak. I disagree. I think Arsenal have over-exceeded to be in this position. I know that they will feel that they've, failed. And I'm sure Arsenal fans will feel like that. But that's just an expectation increase, isn't it? They've... The reality is, if Arsenal lose Partey or Saliba or Jesus or Saka, it's a massive drop-off. If Man City lose Haaland, they've got Alvarez. If they lose John Stones, they've got Laporte. They've got Mahrez on the bench, I'm sorry, but the people who said City are better without Haaland are so wrong. Where would they have been without him? Love your videos, Mark, says Pert. I don't think they're better without City. I'll phrase it like this. Do you think City would still have won the league if they hadn't bought Haaland and they'd kept Jesus and Sterling? Yeah, I do. I think they would have won the league, yeah. Do I think they're a different team with Erling Haaland? Yes, I do. Has that changed from Manscaped at all? Every time I look, it's on Manscaped. Will City? Yeah, it is. Yeah. Will Man City win the treble? Says Potato. I don't know. I hope not. What Pep's done is he's transitioned his team while still remaining the best team. Ramsdale out, says Zayn Miasi. This is why Pickford gets picked over Ramsdale consistently. This is Everton fan KJ. They're coming forward again here. Akanji into the box. Thomas Partey. I think he's given away. That's a goal kick or a foul. We've had 15 minutes and Arsenal haven't done anything yet. Arteta out. I've played again. Scooby-Doo Karaki, says Omar. Okay. All of them in there. It's gone again. Oh, I tell you, of all the nights, it's like bloody Aaron Ramsdale, this stats thing tonight. It's coming back. Good. At least it's not as big a problem tonight as it was 20 minutes ago. I'm not going to go on live support again. I remember how I solved it last time, so let's just get the stats carousel on. There we go. That's what I wanted to look at. I mean, look at that. They're playing counter-attack. I said this. I bloody said this. Arsenal cannot let Man City break on them. Don't let that happen. You're Bayern Munich all over again. Did you not watch the Bayern Munich game? They'll let you have the ball and then they will counter on the space that you leave behind. And Arsenal are leaving bloody loads behind. Arteta's probably gone, wow, you know what? If it weren't for Upamecano, maybe Bayern would have won that game. No, City ain't stupid. He ain't stupid, Pep. It's experience, says Enjoy Writing. But City can slow the game down a bit now as well. They can play clever. Ronnie Pickering. After this season, Pope should be England goalkeeper, says Zeta. Yeah, but Pope made a mistake in an England top, didn't he? Let's not forget. No chances yet. Apparently it's 1-1 between Forest and Brighton. I'll get that confirmed for you in a mo. There's no reason for me to disbelieve you. It's not 5-1 to West Ham, I'll tell you that for free. It is 1-1 right on half time. 4 minutes of added time in the first half. And they have missed a penalty tonight. Nottingham Forest, Brennan Johnson. But it's 1-1 and it's Gross with an own goal. Right on half time there. Arsenal, I don't think Ederson's had a touch in relation to an Arsenal attack yet in the first 20 minutes. It's very easy for Manchester City at the moment. We have to call on the spirits of the United team that won the FA Cup in 77 when we stopped Liverpool getting the treble, says Cal. We do. And could you explain why you said it's a disgrace for Tottenham to refund their fans when Manchester United done nothing when losing 7-0? Love your videos, says Musty. Well, it's just an opinion. I don't think players coming out and refunding the fans is a good look, because it's basically an admission that you didn't try. I just, and obviously they didn't try, but I just think it's a big, a big massive joke to be refunding fans. Yeah, it's just like, I mean, I don't know. Are Spurs fans happy about that? I get the gesture, but ultimately I think, Brentford have scored apparently, but I think, where does it stop? Because Spurs will get beat 3 or 4-0 again. Are you going to refund the fans every time? I mean, I think as football fans, you go to a game and, sometimes you get beat. Bournemouth lost 9-0 at Anfield. Do they refund their fans back as well? I think Spurs' biggest problem is not refunding those fans. I think if you spoke to those fans and said, oh, I've got 50 quid back, would you rather have the 50 quid back or would you rather have your club back? The problem with Spurs is the way the club's being run. They're too interested in bloody Beyonce and NFL than they are about building a football club and play some good football. Do you think about doing Cooking with Goldbridge again, says Dana? Yes, I do. Aaron Wan-Bissaka redemption arc has been impressive, so you think he deserves a new contract? Oil me up, says Danny. I do. I think he does, yeah. Who do I want to win? Scott, I want Arsenal to win. I don't think they are going to win. But, yeah. I am watching the game. It's Plan B. I'm also keeping up to date on the other games as well. Chelsea are at home, aren't they? Chelsea at home to Brentford. I don't think it is 1-0 to Brentford. It's 0-0. So we've been scammed a bit there. It's not 1-0. But here we go with Bernardo Silva into the box. Ramsdale manages to save that. I've got to be honest, I'm not even an Arsenal fan, and any shot on goal, even if it's slow, I worry about Ramsdale at the moment. There was no power on this, and I still thought it was going to go in. He managed to jump on, hold it. Score predictions, says Harvey. I went 3-0 to Arsenal. Yeah. It is now. Apparently it is 1-0 to Brentford. Oh, they're just a bit slow. They're a bit slow. Oh, yeah, it is 1-0 to Brentford. Sorry about that. I didn't get that right. It is 1-0 to Brentford now. Xhaka's just had a free kick. Oh, it was a handball by Xhaka, wasn't it? They need to get a goal back, Arsenal. I think if they get a goal back, it changes the mood. Sometimes if you go 1-0 down, but then you equalise, you get the momentum. But the problem is, they're not doing anything to do that at the moment. And you feel like if anyone's going to score, it'll be Man City again. Is Lampard the worst interim appointment ever? Well, they never should have done it. And they shouldn't be going for Pochettino either. Free kick to Arsenal. Chance to put a cross into the box. The thing about City is they're so hard to score against as well. Oh, Grealish, you're just an overactor. You should get a job on Hollyoaks. Here it is, into the box. Gabriel wins the header, but nothing's going to go on with that. How did the 5 Man City fans hold up that tifo, says Ronan? John B says, I might turn the TV off at half-time. City are so boring. And Anthony says, Mark, with 1 trophy and top 4 as well as another cup final, I don't think anything more can be asked of Erik ten Hag this year. This fan is more than happy, says Anthony, who is a fan who is more than happy. Well, Arsenal fans won't be very happy at the moment. Mark, it's like going to a Formula 1 race and your favourite driver not winning, so you ask for a refund. It's laughable, Spurs, says Liam Devon Red. Look, some people agree with it. I don't. And speaking to a couple of Spurs fans I know, they just want their club back. Mark, thank you very much for that, Liam Devon Red. I hate City more than Liverpool as a United fan, says Nee. Well, the game's settled a little bit. Nice ball into the channel there for Jesus. Man City, as I say, they're so hard to score against. Odegaard. He's got to use Zinchenko here. Zinchenko into Martinelli on the wing. They're being really rushed at the moment, though. Man City, nice ball that is. Xhaka. Terrible touch. Martinelli, foul. More importantly, how does United deal with this City side in the final? Erik ten Hag masterclass incoming, says Rohan. Well, the first thing you do is you don't get caught on the bloody break. It is 1-0 to Brentford against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. But you don't get caught on the break. I think Arteta's been brave, but just watch the Bayern game. They gifted goals because they played so open at the back. Mark, would you watch Women's Super League? Man United are first in the table, says Harvey. No, I wouldn't. And, I don't think you should be forced to watch something that you haven't got time to watch. I think some people try and guilt trip you into watching women's football. And I know a lot of people that like it. A lovely ball in for De Bruyne again. It's going to do. Gabriel's done well. No, it's going to be 2-0. Whoa, what a block. Oh, my God. They're all over the place. They're all over the place. No, I don't watch women's football very rarely. I watch the Euros and that. My daughter plays football, and I like watching it. But I haven't got time to watch women's football. I haven't got time to watch La Liga. It's not sexist, I just don't. I don't have time to watch women's football. I don't have time to watch the youth. I'd like to watch the youth. There's some fantastic players in our youth, but I don't have time. I don't have time to watch women's football. But you do get people occasionally going, well, why don't you watch it? Well, I've never watched it, and you don't have to watch it. And I'm not going to probably watch it. So, but people try and guilt trip you into it, going, oh, you're a sexist or something. That's absolute bloody nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Do you think Chelsea have a genuine threat of being relegated? Just looking at their remaining games, I'm slightly worried. No, CG, because they've already got enough points. You're not getting relegated with 39 points. I think you're safe with 37. It's only a matter of time. Oh, I thought that was going to be it. Arsenal on the ropes here. They're like a boxer whose legs has gone here. They're just trying to stay in the fight. Here's Saka. So many shirts around him, and he can't. Look who it is again. It's Jack Grealish doing the hard work. They can't. They defend well. As a Chelsea fan, I can't spake, says Karim. Lampard is, and I said it, an absolute joke of an appointment. Here he goes, Haaland. He's on his right foot. Keep him on his right foot. Don't let him on his left foot. Who's marking De Bruyne? Who's letting him on his left foot? I've never seen such terrible defending in my life. This Arsenal defending belongs in a playground. Absolute joke. No one marking De Bruyne in the box. Letting Haaland on his left foot. They need to switch on. Absolutely incredible. Watch that back. Big save by Ramsdale, but who's marking De Bruyne? I mean, I think De Bruyne today, it looks like he's quicker than Mbappe. They're just not marking. It's like they're playing with 10 men. I don't know what his plan is, but he needs to change it quick. Because if it should be 2-0, and if it's 2-0, it's game over. Do I think Trent would be better in the midfield, says Derry. It's still 1-0. But it really could have been. Susan says they're open like a butcher's apron. Subban says this could come back and hurt City. Arsenal need Maguire to save the day, says Jenna. Danny Doritos, thanks very much for your sticker there. Very, very nice of you. It's half time between Forest and Brentford. It's 1-1 there. It's not half time between West Ham and Liverpool. It's 1-1. Arsenal haven't had a shot yet. Do we really have a chance against City in the final, says Mario? Oh, I can't. You know what, Mario? I don't watch football like that. You know, we've got a different manager. It's a different game. It's a cup final. It's a Manchester derby with different players. You know, Man City lost at the City ground. Like, you know, anything can happen in football. I think Arsenal at the moment, if I was an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't be happy with how you've approached this game at all. I don't know what you're doing, but you're way too much space. You're trying to press a team that won't be pressed. And you're tiring yourself out. Anakin didn't beat Obi-Wan before they got old. Arteta has a long way to go before he beats his master, says Per. Well, they are vibrant here, Manchester City. Confident, vibrant, their crowd's up. Is Saliba out for the season then? Pep demands Grealish track back. Non-negotiable, says Enjoy Writing. Oh, City didn't lose at the City ground, they drew. Even so, Forest are shit and City are brilliant, and it was a draw. So I don't really get what your point is. Suffice to say, you didn't win. So Man City are not impenetrable. They're not unbeatable. So I don't look at this game as a United fan and say, oh, we've got no chance. Man City are favourites, but I think there's always a chance. I thought there was a chance for Arsenal tonight, but they're just not confident. Great shot by Haaland on the angle. Gabriel again should not be letting that happen. It's weak defending again. It's bully boy defending again. And Gabriel shakes his head. Well, we're shaking our head at you, mate, because you may as well have Gabriel the singer at the back singing Dreams Can Come True, because you're playing absolutely terrible. Spurs beat City twice this season, and last season it can be done, says Tom. Love what you do, Mark, says Hugh. Thank you very much. Chelsea getting a feel-good factor from Frank yet, says WT Key. I think he said if they don't win tonight, he's taking them out for a KFC, because he promised the feel-good factor, and it might not be happening on the pitch. I think the worst thing for Arsenal is no shot on goal in 32 minutes. That's the problem. That's the problem. Here we go. They might have a shot here. No. Look at Man City's defence. They're everywhere. And Jesus can't do that on his own. They're so aggressive in the defence. Why are Arsenal playing this naively, says Beersy. I agree. Ramsdale's made 2 or 3 big saves, you know, as well. I mean, we've still got about 12 minutes to go until half time, but if I was to show you this, look at that. It's now 58% possession for Man City. It's 5 shots. It's 4 on target. Arsenal 0. It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good. No shots on target. 4 for Manchester City. There can be no arguments. Man City could have had a penalty as well. There can be no arguments in this title decider. At the moment, there's only one team looking to decide it, and they're wearing blue. Dominant. What have you got, Arteta? What's your plan? Stop staring at Pep like he's your bloody idol and do something. Too much respect. If I was Arteta, I'd go and like get a can of bloody Mr. Sheen out and go, look at that, or go, look, get some Brill cream out and go, look at me, Pep, I'm doing my hair. Try and rustle his feathers a little bit. Show him a bit of disrespect. It's all too pretty. You know, it literally is like an under-21s team playing the first team. Trying to be like the first team, but be respectful. Partey. Oh, I've seen him do that 3 times this season and he misses first half a chance. Needs to get extra bodies in the midfield, says Shiesty. But I never understood this with Klopp either. Too much respect for Pep Guardiola. Sir Alex would never. Mourinho would never in his prime. He had to when he was not very good anymore. But they all just bow down to Pep. Oh, we love you, Pep. So much respect for you, Pep. I wish I was like you, Pep. Makes it very easy for Pep to dictate the game when, you know, on and off the pitch when everyone's so respectful. You've got to try and ruffle him up a bit. We need Ronnie Pickering in charge, Arsenal. I'm Ronnie Do you know who I am, Pep? I'm Ronnie Pickering. Who? I'm Ronnie Pickering. Do you want to fight? A bare knuckle fight? Do you want a game of chat? Here we go again. Grealish, 3v3 again. How many times did we talk about this before the game? Why are Arsenal getting caught 3v3? Oh, Haaland just shoots wide. I can't speak. I can't breathe. I can't believe that we can predict the danger before a game and Arteta can't. They're getting caught. They're 1-0 down and they're getting caught 3v3 all game. What are they doing? What's the plan? You're not having any... Why? Why are you getting caught out all the time? You're not even having it. You know, if you're having loads of chances like Bayern Munich or loads of possession like Bayern Munich, they're not doing anything in the Arsenal half, in the City half, but in their half, they're not there. They're getting annihilated and they're playing open. A 3-0 all over it, says Red Light. Tactics are terrible here from Arteta. Really, it's only luck that the game's not over. I mean, what's he trying to ride out here? It's like he's trying to win a bloody... It's like he's trying to win the Grand National on a bloody rocking horse. He's got to change it. He's got to change it. It's inevitable. It's absolutely inevitable that Man City are going to score in a minute. Erling Haaland's banged into Thomas Partey here. So he stopped it. I don't know what happened. I think he just ran into him. Let's have a look. If Casemiro did this, it'd be a red. It looks like he throws an elbow, but they won't show us the angle on it. I can't see what happens there. I can't see what happened. It's a red card for Casemiro if that happened. I can't comment because I can't see what happened. Looked like there was just a bit of barging. Yeah, talk to me, Goose. I don't know what to say about how crap Arsenal's tactics are, and what it's almost like Arteta still thinks he's Pep's assistant. Like, what is he actually doing? Is he happy with second? I don't get it. I think all season I've been full of praise for Arteta, but they're just like somebody said, they're like a butcher's apron, wide open at the back. It's terrible. And again, it's 4v4 again. Why are Man City constantly catching Arsenal on the break? Doesn't make any sense. The attack and midfield of Arsenal is non-existent. Maybe Arteta's playing for penalties, says Brian. This first 40 minutes is a lesson in how not to play against Man City at the Etihad. I mean, look at the teams that have beaten Man City this season. Manchester United, Arsenal. Manchester United and Spurs. How did Manchester United and Spurs beat Man City in January? Occupied Haaland with a deep line and countered. What's Arteta doing? Playing wide open and leaving Haaland and De Bruyne in space. Next goal and it's over. Here's Gundogan. Oh my God. They're not marking Haaland in the box again. I can't believe it. I'm not even a bloody Arsenal fan. What they're doing at the back. Were they on the piss last night? Have they got food poisoning? Are they on a win bonus if Man City win? I don't get it. Enjoy Writing says a side gets outplayed sometimes, Mark. It happens. Bullshit, brother. Bullshit, brother. That's not what's happening here. Why is Erling Haaland not being marked in the box? That's not being outplayed. That's giving him 2 yards. What, the best striker in the world giving him 2 yards for a cutback? It's absolutely criminal defending. It's like the bloody Holding and Gabriel are playing musical statues. When the music stops, stop. I can't believe how bad that defending was. I can't believe how bad the defending's been all off. It should be 4-0, Omar. It definitely should be 2 or 3. Men against boys. They're in awe of them. Easy for City, this. Odegaard. He's got to go wide to Zinchenko here. Come on. Cross isn't too bad. Back post goes for a corner. Arsenal have had the dodgy lasagna, says Henry Moore. Yeah, if you know, you know. So, yeah, half-time, 1-0 to Brentford at Chelsea. Half-time, 1-1 between West Ham and Liverpool. They're into the second half for Forest and Brighton. It's still 1-1 there. Corner for Arsenal. They need something. Can they get it from a corner? Saka takes it. It's not good enough. And Ederson punches it away. You know, for a team that's been so good at creating chances this season, it's incredible that they've created absolutely nothing in 43 minutes. But look, you know what? I'd actually take it as a huge positive that it's 1-0 at half time. I really would. I mean, for Arsenal, it's absolutely incredible that it's 1-0 at half time. Look at Gabriel there, crap. And again, oh, God. I mean, I've just looked at the chances there. Remember, De Bruyne has had a couple of good chances beyond his goal as well. It's incredible. It's incredible. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We're only 20 away from 944,000. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. You're very welcome to the That's Football. Everybody's welcome on here. Doesn't matter who you support. I don't know what Watchalong we're doing next, but we have daily content on here for you. Mark, I think the one to stop Pep and City is Erik ten Hag. If he gets proper backing this summer, United will go toe-to-toe, and we may outplay them, says Abdul. Well, look, you know what? In relation to the game, Arsenal have been very, very disappointing. I think that's fair to say. But in the bigger picture, I think Arsenal deserve a massive amount of credit for where they are there, because this title would have been won by Man City at Christmas. And I'm not even joking. This title would have been won by Man City at Christmas if Arsenal had had the season everyone thought they were going to have. The fact that Arsenal have defied logic and played as well as they have, they've made this title race what it is. But ultimately, based on this game and the game at the Emirates, there's a big, big difference. Thanks for the super chat, Ryan. Free kick for Manchester City here. I think we've got a... Oh my God. You know what? I went on to... It's not 2-0, it's offside for John Stones. Yeah, he's off, thank God. Whew, I was like that then. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Yeah, free kick. John Stones scored, but he's headed it into the back of the net, but he's offside. If he timed that better, it would have been 2-0. I mean, Arsenal aren't even defending crosses well now. It is offside, 100%. It's 1-0 as we nearly approach half-time. It doesn't look like he's got a clue. Why does VAR take so bloody long when it's so obviously offside? This is just time wasting. Well, what happens to the Community Shield if Man City win both the FA Cup and the League, says Zach. I don't know. I think Arsenal play them as second in the league. He's onside, isn't he? Oh, for fuck's sake. He's onside. It's onside. Looks miles off. Looks miles off. Mark, would you consider incorporating player ratings on the channel on selective games? Maybe have members vote what game as an incentive. Big United part of the United Stand family, says Lyle. Yeah, you're right, but if Arsenal don't win the Prem, we can argue Erik ten Hag and United had a better season, especially if we win their FA Cup. There's potential, says Abdul Walid. Mate, I can't genuinely believe my eyes. I can't believe my eyes. Somebody get me my glasses. Call Specsavers. I can't believe he's onside here. I mean, he is. It's just that it's the angle, isn't it? I thought he was miles off. Absolutely miles off. But, you know, he's on. I can't sit here and defend that it's off. It looked miles off, but the lines, well, the lines only get it wrong for Arsenal, don't they? So, but look, Man City deserve to be 3 or 4-0 up here. 2-0's a bonus. They've been absolutely terrible. It's all kicking off a little bit here. I don't know what's happened. Not a lot, I don't think. Arsenal showing too much respect. You'd never catch Liverpool doing this in a title race, says Dylan. Let's have a look what happens here. Ruben Diaz. I don't think there's anything going on here. Let's have a look. Ben White trying to win the ball. Moves away. Kicks out at him. He does kick out at him. The ball's nowhere near. He's going to book him. He did kick out, but he's not a Man United player, so it won't be a red. What do we think? That's a red for Casemiro. I don't know. I think inexperience from a Manchester United point of view, if I'm being really fair. You can talk about red cards if you want to, but the fact is it doesn't change the fact that Man City should be 4 or 5-0 up here. Claiming a red card, I don't think it really washes at this stage. And I think from Arsenal's point of view, they've been absolutely shit. And whilst the plaudits deserve to go to Manchester City, of course they do. My initial reaction is, and I'm interested to see what people say in the chat. My initial reaction is, I don't think Man City are out of third gear. So I don't think we can sit here and say Man City have been unplayable. I think Arsenal have been shite. And I don't get why. I don't understand what Arteta is doing in this game. Too much respect. Too much in awe of his role model. I don't know what he's doing. Did he not watch the Champions League? Does he not watch it because Arsenal aren't in it? The cold, harsh fact is, Bayern Munich played open at the back in both games and got punished. Arsenal have played open at the back and been absolutely torn apart. 2-0 does not do it justice. It should be more than 2-0. So at what point did Arteta not realise in the first 2 minutes that he was in trouble and change it? He's played 45 minutes the same way. That's ridiculously naive. Arsenal are not going to win this title, and they're not going to win this title because Manchester City are better than them. Not because they dropped points at Southampton, not because they dropped points at Anfield. They're going to not win this title because they're the second best team in this league. And unfortunately, that's because Arteta is too naive when he plays his role model. And we saw it at the Emirates, and we've seen it here today. You don't play like that against Manchester City. And when you realise you don't play like that, you change it. His defence has been run through like a hot knife through butter. And he's done nothing to change it. Look at the stats at half-time. This has just been it's the first time I've really been critical of Arteta, probably in 2 years, but you get yourself into this position, hold on to it. Do something with it. Stay in the game. Go open and do bloody nothing. They've had no shots on target, Arsenal. And Man City have had 6. Why are you so open if you've had no shots on target? What are you doing? What's your game plan? You could have had no shots on target and played deeper and tighter and more compact on the break, which is how Man United beat Man City in January. It's how Spurs have beat them twice. It's how Nottingham Forest got a draw against them. The way to stop Man City is to keep Haaland quiet centrally and surround him with players so he's got no space, and force the likes of Grealish and Bernardo Silva and De Bruyne to do something off their own back and hit them on the break. What does Arteta do? Haaland, you can have the freedom of the Etihad because we're just going to leave you in acres of space. I can't believe it. And this is why ex-players, current managers, they might have played the game, but it's not a difficult game to analyse when you see such big mistakes like that. And look, maybe there is too much respect for Pep. Maybe the relationship is too cosy, because I just think there's no bite in Arsenal. There's too much respect on the pitch. There's too much respect off the pitch. And basically, he's gone toe-to-toe with the guy who is basically his role model when he's got better players, the home crowd, and he's a better coach. He should have mixed it up. Imagine Bruno did what Diaz did, says Iram. Rob Holding has been ran through more than the Kardashians. The title is gone for Arsenal, and this could be a thrashing, says Skeletons. Arteta is a good coach with a great style of play, but do you think he lacks in an ability to adjust to a better match his opponents? Says Stephen. I'm going to come back to that. I think it's a great point. Guardiola changes his tactics. He's no longer prioritises possession football. He waits at the back and counters. Arteta still on the old Guardiola system, says Anton. Can't read that one out, Magic. It's not very nice. Don't Break That has just gifted 50 memberships. You're an absolute legend, mate. I remember you from the United stand last night. Absolute legend. In relation to Arteta, I remember at Old Trafford back in the autumn, we were 1-0 up at half-time. He got back to 1-1 and he never changed how he played. He was at Old Trafford. They got to 1-1. They really should have gone and won the game because they were better than us. He played a high line. Ten Hag tweaked his team, brought Ronaldo on, put Rashford on the wing, and we got him behind them twice and won the game. I think Arteta's a bit one-dimensional. I don't think he knows how to close a game out. I don't think he knows how to play a different way this season. And I think that, unfortunately, they're just going to come up short. For so much of this season, they were the best team in the league. But I think, ultimately, they're the second best team in the league. And they deserve huge credit, Arsenal. I mean, they do. I said it this morning. No matter what happens, they deserve huge credit. But ultimately, they're going to come up short. And they're going to come up short because, realistically, Arteta should have had a game plan that didn't reside in trying to beat Man City at their own game at the Etihad. He should have kept it tight. He should have been compact. He should have deprived City of space in the final third instead of giving them space in the final third. And they have got players who can hit on the break. But Xhaka, Partey, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli and Jesus haven't been in the game. It's basically been 3v3s and 4v4s and 2v2s at the back, and I can't believe it. I mean, I can't believe how open Arsenal have been in a game like this. And trust me when I say, and you've seen it as well, it really could be 4 or 5-0. And you can talk about whether Diaz should have got sent off. I personally don't really care, and I don't think any Arsenal fan will care either, because what does that do? The game's gone. You know, you've lost the game because of ridiculously bad tactics in the biggest game of the season. D Flash says that's the difference between City and everyone else. Arsenal lose a player and has to play Holding, who is getting exposed. Man City bench would finish top 4, says D Flash. Even more reason to not play the way that they're playing. Arteta is Pep B-Tech, no plan B. Top 4 is gone for Arsenal next season. Hi Joe Haitley, says Tom Brooks. Thank you very much for the super chats there. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're very close to 944,000. Bottom right hand corner to do that. I'm absolutely fuming. Nothing can sugarcoat this, says Reese. Look, I want to say that I've been very, for a United fan, I've been very pro Arteta and Arsenal this season. And I still think they've had a fantastic season. I really do. You know, nobody predicted it. But, and there is a big but, the harsh fact is you should have put up more of a title race in the last few weeks. And the harsh fact is today, despite dropping points against Southampton, today was still all up for grabs. And that's a white flag football for me. It's shockingly bad to approach a game like this, and it's so naive. And I know, because I'm looking at it and I can see the chat, but imagine, you know, Arsenal fans, they're going to look at this and go, why did you approach it like this? It's not even brave. You can't even go, well, at least he tried to play good football. You played crap football. You've had no shots on target. He's just opened up the shop. And I bet Pep and Man City are going, I can't believe how easy they are to beat. They'll have had harder games here against most of the league than Arsenal today. They've just completely and utterly handed it on a plate. I don't know how John Stones is onside from that angle, but it's the wrong angle, isn't it? It's just the wrong angle. As a United fan, raging we didn't get Nkanji, says John. And as much as I hate to say it, City is scary if they play like this every game, says Zeus. Well, I think that's where football knowledge comes into it. I don't think City is scary at all. I just think people are playing in the wrong way against them. I think Bayern Munich actually gave them a very, very good goal, very, very good game. But Upamecano cost them. I don't think Man City are scary. I think they're a very good team. I just think Arsenal today have been dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. And Man City are so good that they will take advantage of that. But I think all goals have been preventable. Like, every goal has been preventable. As I said, Man City are a really good side, but they haven't had to work for this. They haven't had to work for it at all. As I say, I mean, look, if Man City win the league, and they will win the league, they're the best team in the league, they deserve to win the league. If they win the Champions League, they deserve it. If they beat us in the FA Cup final, they deserve it. And then ultimately they'll get a treble. I don't want it to happen, but I can't say they don't deserve it if it does happen. But I'm not naive enough to sit here and say Man City have been unstoppable tonight. I actually think the scary thing is they can play a lot better. I think they've been in third gear. I think it's been too easy for them. I don't think they've been tested. They've had no shots on target. They've not been tested at all. Nottingham Forest are winning 2-1 against Brighton. That would be an absolute turn up for the books. 71 minutes. Forest are beating Brighton. This weird league just continues to be weird. How are Brighton losing to Nottingham Forest 2-1? Is it the impact of extra time on Sunday? Is it too big of a turnaround? I don't know. But Brighton shouldn't be losing that game. But they are. And there was a goal at West Ham, but apparently it's been disallowed for Jared Bowen. It remains 1-1 between West Ham and Liverpool. And it still is, after an hour, 1-0 to Brentford against Charlton. Against Chelsea. May as well be Charlton. Yeah, keep your comments coming in. Is there a way back for Arsenal? Probably not. Probably not. But shocking turn of events, really? No, not really. I think many people would have expected Manchester City to win this. I'm just stunned at the way Arteta has approached it. And as somebody who's been a big advocate of what he's done this season, performed incredibly well. I think you've got to ask... The thing I would say to anybody defending Arteta here is, tell me I'm wrong if I said it's 5-0 Man City. Well, if you're losing 5-0 at half-time and Man City have barely broken sweat, there's a problem, isn't there? I mean, this performance from Arsenal is no better than Spurs' performance at the weekend, really. Because it could be 3 or 4-0 to Manchester City. And you've had no shots on target. It doesn't feel like this is a game that you need to win a title. You know, I'm very disappointed by what they've done. But I don't think we're surprised. Make sure you subscribe, by the way, as I said, bottom right-hand corner to do that. Let's have a look how we're doing. I will be doing a match reaction for this one afterwards as well. So thanks everyone who's getting involved. I know what I needed to do and almost forgot. We're sponsored by Manscaped on the show today. Of course we are. Don't forget, you can use the code FOOTY and you will get 20% off and free worldwide shipping with Manscaped. If you are a man, we can say that because it is for men. It's Manscaped 4.0. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Fantastic piece of kit. Once you've used it, you'll wonder how you ever got by without it. Sound of that engine. Purring. It's got a light for a more precise shave. It's waterproof, although I've always said don't do it when wet down there. Get in the shower, shave it all off, collect it, put it down the toilet or in the bin, and then rinse yourself off then. But it is waterproof if you are in there. Adjustable for different lengths. You can also get the Weed Whacker for your nose, which is a brilliant bit of kit if you're of a certain age. 20% off and free worldwide shipping. Fantastic products. Use the code FOOTY. Trust me. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. You'll love it. Paul says the missus can use it as well. I can't confirm or deny about that, but there we go. Give it a go. Right. Arsenal need to show a bit of balls in the second half, don't they? They do. I think it's impossible for them to come back. Absolutely impossible. But I don't know what. I enjoy writing. I don't enjoy your chat tonight. I think you're talking out your arse because it's the second one you've said now. You're not taking it on board. He's saying you're being harsh, Mark. City can do anyone, anywhere. What are you talking about? What about my analysis and everyone else's analysis you were struggling with? This is a title decider. It's 2-0 to Man City. It should be 5-0. And you're trying to tell us we're watching the most complete football performance in the world. We're not. We're watching a good Man City side play a ridiculously bad Arsenal side tonight. And we're trying to understand why Arteta has come into this game and left himself wide open against the best striker in the world and the best number 10 in the world. It's criminal what he's done. And I don't understand why he's done it. And I don't understand why at 1-0 he didn't change it. He just sat back and I don't know. I don't know. After the first goal, you've got to change it. And he sat there for 35 minutes and watched City have chance after chance after chance and left it. And I don't know why he's done that. I don't know. I mean, maybe Arsenal will have a title shot next year. Maybe they'll have a title shot next year, but they might not. This might have been the night. This might have been the opportunity. And I don't get why he's done it like that. And I'm a massive fan of his, but he's got it wrong. Matt Malt says that City have been amazing tonight. I genuinely do not agree. I think Man City are in third gear. I think they can play a lot better. I think they've been good. I do, and I'm playing Manchester City at compliment here. I think they can play a lot better. I just think Arteta's got his tactics completely wrong. Maybe Arsenal fans should understand how they overrated their players and City players are underrated. Gundogan better than Odegaard, Rodri better too, says Grealish. That probably is Jack Grealish. I don't like City. They're a soulless club with too many fans trying to justify their existence. Also, Mark, who is your favourite non-Man United player ever, says Damon. I don't know. And I'm not going to answer that now because I'd probably have to sit down and think about it. There's been plenty. I've really liked Zidane. R9, fantastic player. In the Premier League, I really liked Vialli and Zola when they first came over because I loved Serie A. It tends to be players that weren't really rival players. Like, I've got respect for people like Frank Lampard and Thierry Henry, but I never liked them at the time because we were always competing them. I don't think VAR's got it wrong, by the way. There's a few people saying that VAR got it wrong. It was definitely offside. There ain't no way they've got that wrong. You can't get that wrong. And I'm sure there'll be enough Arsenal fans looking at it to make sure they got it right. It looked miles offside, but I don't think it was. Anytime any team can do any team on the day, you have to play who's in front of you and get your tactics right, says Lee. Arsenal are more of a choking hazard. Joe, I can't read about choking and children. Can we stop doing those sorts of things? Random question, Mark, but do you have any interests, hobbies outside of football that you think the viewers would be surprised by, says Matt. No. Mark, Arteta collapses at the end of the season and Saka disappears at this point of the season. It's a pattern, says the HPN. I know, LFC believer, you're right. I don't know. Look, I don't think it's funny. It's like Anne Frank's drum kit joke. I don't find it funny. It's Lego and kids choking. What's funny about that? Just think. Chances of Arsenal doing United and winning 3-2, says Zeno. No. I'm going to tell you now. If Arteta doesn't change the way they're playing, it could end up being 5-0. Is he going to change it at half time? Like, I think you've got to try and just change it. It's pretty simple. One team has Gabriel and Holding, and one team has Diaz and Stones, says Wilmer. They don't believe. I mean, and this is something I won't criticise Arsenal for, because why would they? They genuinely did come into this game like a bit like they don't believe. Like they don't believe in themselves. I think the last few games has hurt them. Now, whether they can turn it around in the second half, I don't know. Here's Shevchenko into Xhaka. Well, it's a shot on target. Straight at Edison, but it's a shot on target. Leroy says Casemiro would get a red card and a full court case for attempted murder if he did what Ruben Diaz did earlier for his yellow, says Leroy. It's pretty... Okay, thank you very much for the super chats tonight. There we go. Yeah, that's the first shot for Arsenal. Let me get the stats carousel going for you. You can see it all updating as it stands. I mean, look, there are other games going on at the moment. So when you see the league table, there's a goal coming in at Liverpool for West Ham or Liverpool. I don't know what it is. I'll let you know. It's 2-1 to Nottingham Forest with 10 minutes to go against Brighton. That's a shock. It's 1-0 to Brentford at Stamford Bridge with 20 minutes to go. That's a bit of a shock. It's 1-1 between West Ham and Liverpool, but something is going on. I just don't know what at the moment. It's 2-1 to Liverpool. That's what. And that's a big goal for Liverpool. It's Diaz. Is it Diaz? I don't know. Who scored? We're getting 2-1 to Liverpool. 68th minute. Paqueta, Gakpo, Matip. Matip makes it 2-1. There you go. 2-1 to Liverpool. Of course, I respect your analysis, Mark. Says enjoy writing. Thank you very much. Keeps Liverpool in the hunt. Brighton are not going to be in it anymore. I feel so sorry for Brighton, by the way. Lose on penalties in an FA Cup semi-final. And now they might not end up with any European football as well. Liverpool, Villa, all coming through at the end. Spurs probably finish above them as well. They were robbed of 3 points against Spurs. Zayn Miasi, thank you very much for your super chat there. Layla says, just add some custard. We've crumbled. Do you think Liverpool get back to their best, says Jack? Not without signings, mate. I still think you're massively vulnerable. I mean, even tonight. I mean, fair play for beating Forest, but 3-2. West Ham, 2-1. All the games are very tight, aren't they? They're not putting teams to bed comfortably. But they're picking up the points. Who do you fancy to win the snooker, says Ben? Oh, I'm disappointed in the snooker. Ronnie goes out, losing 7 in a row. I'd like to see a Brissell versus Selby final. I quite like Selby. I know he's a bit boring, but I'd like to see that. But I think Mark Allen will probably get to the final. Man City now, I think they will let Arsenal have a bit of the ball and counter. That's what I think will happen. The Etihad so quiet for such a big game, says Brain. Well, I just think they get used to winning, don't they? You know, it's been a bit of an anti-climax, hasn't it? It's been very easy for them. I know they get a lot of stick, but to be fair, I do think it's been very, very easy for Man City, and you'd be stunned if there was a way back. I mean, look, put it this way. Arsenal have got to get 2 goals to get a point, which I don't think will be enough anyway. Mark, can you please talk about the game in your Scooby-Doo accent really quick? Says my mum loves it, says Dave the Weird. Scooby-Doo! I can't do that. Chelsea getting used to losing, says Philip. I can believe it. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but Chelsea have lost every game under Lampard. I think they've lost every game under Lampard. Lost to Wolves, lost to Madrid. Maybe they got a draw somewhere. Here he goes. I mean, Haaland's through one-on-one. Good save by Ramsdale. How? How is this happening again? I don't get it. I just don't get how Arsenal have been dominated like they're a bloody League One side. Terrible pass by Jesus, and then Man City come again. What do you think about Noel Gallagher's comments about Sir Alex Ferguson, says Sam? I think he's deluded, mate. But remember, when Sir Alex Ferguson was really dominating football, Noel was at the peak of Oasis, so he was probably chucking all sorts down his neck at that time, and was oblivious to what was actually going on. Here's De Bruyne. Brilliant. 3-0. Brilliant. It's over. It's absolutely over. And I just want to take a moment here to just absolutely pin this on the team that deserves to be the Premier League title holders. They've absolutely removed any doubt. I said 3 weeks ago that if you were giving the title out, Arsenal deserve it. They're the best team in the league and they've been the best team all season. 3 weeks later, that has been completely and utterly eradicated, mown down and buried. Manchester City have won at the Emirates, and then they've come to the Etihad and absolutely battered them, destroyed them. And the scary thing for Arsenal is, it wasn't like they weren't warned that this was the biggest game of the season. Absolutely terrible. Nobody picking anybody up. What's Rob Holding doing here? Just terrible. Absolutely terrible. No doubt who the best side in the league is this year. It's men against boys. They've absolutely destroyed them. Easy. And that's the thing. You know what? I think if Arsenal had lost this 3-2 and given everything and played their part, it would still hurt. But there would be some pride. This is just embarrassing. This is an embarrassing... And I don't know what Arteta's thinking. You know, he's shown Pep so much respect and Pep has wiped his arse with him. That's the thing. He's come here, oh, let's have a hug. There's so much respect. There's so much respect. And Pep's wiped his arse with him. He hasn't shown him any respect. Oh, I hate that, Poznan. I hate that. I think it's the most crappy celebration in football. But, you know, that's for them to do. But... You know, Arteta's shown all this respect and Pep's gone, yeah, we're mates. Nah, I'm going to embarrass you. I'm going to absolutely embarrass you. Even if we stop their treble by winning an FA Cup, but now they'll have the chance to win League 4 times in a row next season, we'll have to step up, says Cigar. Never thought of that. There was another super chat there that I missed. Sorry. Looks like Forest are going to beat Brighton. Darren Burns says, managers showing respect, why would they? Exactly, that's my point. Why is Arteta showing Pep so much bloody respect? Why is he going to the Etihad and playing wide open like a butcher's apron? I don't get it, because Pep's absolutely battered him. If he was a piece of cod, Arteta the cod, this is what Pep's done. Get me the flour, get me the milk, get me the salt and pepper. Let me season that. You hang up there, Arteta. Right. I'm going to batter you. Down you go. Down you go again. Into the hot oil. Down you go again. You're battered. You're battered. Let's have some ketchup on it. He's absolutely battered him. I'm disappointed in Arsenal, and I've praised them a lot this season, and I'm disappointed. I'm not even an Arsenal fan. I'm very disappointed with them. I expected better. So you can only imagine how Arsenal fans feel. But I think what they've got to do is they've got to lock on to what I and a few others have said. It will hurt, but you've still had an incredible season. You know, it was an opportunity, but you weren't good enough. And there's no uncertainty there, is there? It's not a case of what could have been. You drew with Southampton, you drew with West Ham, and you got beat by Man City. There's no if, could, woulda, coulda, shoulda. You're not going to lose the title by 2 points and talk about the linesman line against Brentford. I think the only thing I would say that might have changed this was the death of the Queen. And I'm not blaming the Queen for this at all. But what I'm saying is Man City and Arsenal were meant to play each other in September, and it got rescheduled. And I think that it would have had a difference if they'd have played then, because City weren't as good as what Man City are now. Chelsea are 2-0 down to Brentford. Oh my God. Lampard. Well, he's taken off Martinelli for Trossard and Xhaka for Jorginho. This is what, this is the thing though, isn't it? And this is always the way. Well, it's not always the way. You build a game up, and you do build a game up because, let's be honest, it's a massive game, and it really doesn't deliver. In this sense, it's just not delivered at all, has it? And Man City, like Enjoy Writing said, would give anybody a game at the moment. I think that Real Madrid game is a worry, because Man City are right bang in form. But on the other hand, I think Man City would give anybody a game at the moment. On the other hand, I think Arsenal would get given a game by most people at the moment. The way they've played tonight, the way they played against Southampton, I think anybody in the Premier League would give them a game. And that's the problem. It's a mismatch, isn't it? You've got Man City who could play anybody at the moment and beat them. And then you've got Arsenal at the moment who look like at the moment they'd struggle to beat most teams. It's just a bad time to play this game. And that's just the way it goes. Ronnie Pickering versus Harry Vane versus Sean Dyche. Grudge match, Hell in a Cell. Who wins? Says NON. I think Ronnie Pickering's all talk. I think Sean Dyche wins. Does Grealish look like... I don't watch Ted Lasso, The Society. 3P gone and treble is threatening. Sad times, says Big J. Zinchenko and Jesus have bottled it tonight, says Swift. Well, I don't think you can pin it down on those two. I think it's been bottled by the collective, really. I mean, it's still half an hour to go here. Ahmad won Sunderland Young Player of the Year, says Eric. Thank you very much for that. Forest have beaten Brighton, I'm hearing. And they're going to beat Brighton 3-1. Can we just have a look, actually? Can we just have a look at the relegation battle? Because I'm slightly concerned for... I never saw that coming. And Sean Dyche... I can't believe it, Goldbridge. You never saw it coming. I went out to the cinema to watch that thing with blue things on. Avatar 2. I'm sat watching Avatar 2, watching these blue things, thinking, well, I'm a Blue Everton manager. Nottingham Forest 3, Brighton 1, are they having a laugh? Someone check their bank accounts. Forest are crap. I can't speak, Goldbridge. I can't eat my gravel. I can't believe it. And I tell you what, I'm getting a little bit worried about Everton because it's points on the table that matter. And when you look at the table as it stands at the moment, look at that. Nottingham Forest have got 30 points. Everton have got 28. Southampton are gone. I'd say Bournemouth are probably back in it again now. That relegation battle is... I mean, even West Ham are probably still back in it. Maybe Chelsea could go down. Chelsea showing relegation form now. That'd be a story. I think they've got enough points, Red Cloud Mark. Thought this would be 2015-16 Leicester for Arsenal, but it's turned out to be Liverpool 2013-14, says Michael. Red card for Casemiro for hands on neck. Nothing for Xhaka for holding Grealish down by his neck. Love the consistency. Hugh, if you go searching for comparisons, you'll just wind yourself up. Casemiro gets targeted. Casemiro would get a red and a full court case. But yeah, I've done that one from Leroy as well. Let me just get the stats carousel rolling around here. These are horrible, horrible games for, Arsenal fans as well, though. The fact that there's still 25 minutes to go. I mean, that's the embarrassment as well. The fact that there's 25 minutes to go and it's well and truly over. In a title-deciding game, it's an absolute farce, really. They've embarrassed themselves, haven't they? Hard on the Arsenal lads mentally, says enjoy writing. Oh, yeah, definitely. Just while you're tuning in, please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with That's Football. You're very welcome. In fact, we're only 200 away from 945,000. So lots of people new to the channel. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Daily content on That's Football for everybody. Thanks all for tuning in as ever. Where's the fight, though, says Sally Devil Red 7. Says, it all changed in that Liverpool game. You could see the change in their mentality. They lost confidence. Yeah, something did change. Something did change because I've been so impressed with Arsenal's mentality this season. I mean, I remember when they were at the top. I feel like I'm kicking Arsenal fans in the gut here because it's going to hurt, but I'm going to tell the story anyway. Back in September, when Arsenal were near the top, people were like, it won't last, they won't even get top 4. When it was October and they were still doing really well, it won't last, they won't be able to go the distance. Come back after the World Cup, December, January, they're still there. Nah, they'll still flop. They won't be able to do it. They're not capable of doing it. And we get to sort of April and, January, February, March, April, early April, and people are going, no, I think they can do it. I think they deserve to do it as well. They've been brilliant. They've got something that people didn't think they had. This belief, this togetherness, this chemistry, this mentality. And then in the final home run, it's deserted them. And I think it's panic. I think it's overthinking because they never bottled it when people thought they were going to do it in September, October, January, December. They've done it at the end when you start to see the finish line. And it happens a lot. They say to win a title, you've got to have lost out on a title. Because it's knowing the journey. Man City know it like the back of their hand. Everton have the lowest goals in the top 6 tiers with 24. Our top scorer is Dwight McNeil, says Dance, 1-2-1-1. Speaking of Casemiro red cards, how was that not a red on the Palace keeper last night? It was literally the same tackle but got less of the ball, says Brandon. Chelsea fans thought Potter was the problem, but they wouldn't go in on Frank like they did on Potter. Players and owners are the issues, not Potter. But they were better under Potter, Nathan. 100% better. Have you seen the news? Sir Jim bid, including minus state for Glazers. Yes, I have, Sammy. Do you think the goalkeepers get to choose the colours they want on their shirts, says Eddie? No. Because the kit comes out in the summer, doesn't it? I've got a sore throat and I just realised why, because you got me to do some Deitch. Losing 2-0 again at home for Chelsea is absolutely dreadful though, isn't it? I mean, they shouldn't be losing as many games as they are. It's absolutely terrible. It's disgraceful. Look at Chelsea in their last few games. Loss, draw, loss. Just and 2 losses to Real Madrid as well. It's absolute crap. It's terrible. Looks like being a good result for Liverpool. Mark, did you see Man United transfer interest in Croatian world goalkeeper Livakovic? He has a 10 million release clause. What do you think about it? Says Little Dragon. I don't know. A lot of people don't like it because he's not your sort of sweeper keeper, is he? Which is what I think we should be looking for. Oh, who would have thought it, eh? Who would have thought this game would be over after 5 minutes? I feel like I'm watching Bournemouth play Man City. That's how little confidence Arsenal have got in themselves. It's meant to be a title decider. Liverpool never pumped like this in a title decider, says Daniel. Wow, it's just been one of them seasons. Could this be the first season where all 3 promoted sides survive, says Jimmy. Could be. Could be. So relegation fight looks very interesting. Let me know in the chat though, where do you think this has gone wrong? I've been very vocal about Arteta's plan being absolutely childish. You know, going so open and leaving so much space against the striker like that. I've seen Man City a few times this season and I've seen Man City be stopped. You stop Haaland, you stop Man City. How do you stop Haaland? You don't play a high line and you don't separate your centre-backs. He's got no one near him at any time. They needed to play a lot deeper. Just curious, will Chelsea get relegated? They have City, Arsenal and Newcastle, says GJ. No, they've just got enough points. 39 points will keep you up. Just Vibe says they're exactly like Bayern. No, I mean, I watched that Bayern game. I thought Bayern played better than City for large portions of it. The problem was Upamecano. Like, if you watch that Bayern Munich game, or you watched that Bayern Munich game, I think Man City's defence was really good, but Bayern actually dominated the ball and played quite well. They didn't have a striker and they had Upamecano playing. Arsenal, nowhere near. They've not at any point have I thought Arsenal have played well. I thought Bayern Munich did play quite well on the ball, but I don't think Arsenal have played well at all today. There's nothing about this game about the defence has been terrible. In fact, Ramsdale's probably their man of the match. Like, their attack has been poor, their midfield has been poor, their defence has been poor. I think with Bayern Munich, their attack was crap in relation to taking chances, and Upamecano was dreadful. Mark, I know the criticisms of the Premier League being a one-horse race is false, but if this continues with City, it will become boring, says Connor. Well, we've had a great league this year, but you're right, Man City are just too dominant. For whatever reason, they are too dominant. You know, you can have a cynical view on that, or you can have an accepting view of that, but they are just too dominant. You know, they're just too good, and nobody can live with them. Arteta isn't the only person who's been naive today. None of the Arsenal players have played well today. City's experience is outclassing the youth. This is Pep taking inspiration from Ollie after all the defeats against him. In all honesty, playing Ollie ball the only way I can see a side beating Pep. Says Sahaj. I agree. I mean, look, Spurs did it. We did it. The way to beat City is not to play like this. I think Arsenal have been a bit arrogant, really. I think arrogance and naivety has been their problem. They thought they could come and play toe-to-toe. No way. I think many people wanted Arsenal to win this. They were the underdogs, and it's sad to see this result, says Becca. Thank you, Becca. Arsenal always has bottle jobs in the culture. They always done this. 20 years of bottle jobs, says Ray, Carl, Brown, Amori. You've seen that apparently Sir Jim is potentially giving 20% stake to Glazers, says Daniel. I mean, it happened when I was live, so I've not really had a chance to soak it up yet, but I certainly will do it full time. Tom, what do you think about Villa next season? I think a lot of positivity about Villa this season. I just don't know whether they can get the, whether they can keep that going next season and what sort of backing he gets in the summer. I think it'd be very interesting. Still 20 minutes to go here. Treble incoming, says Akara. Well, Real Madrid and Manchester United have got something to say in that. And if they don't learn from the way Arsenal and Bayern have done it, then they're fools. I'm just sending a message to somebody about United. Brighton game, they played 103 minutes. It is over. They did lose 3-1. Chelsea are going to lose. West Ham are losing 3-0. Gabriel or Upamecano, who has been worth, says TJ. Another bloody little bit of tit for tat. It doesn't really matter, does it? I have a stat for you Potter first 7 games, won 6, drew 1. And Lampard played 5, lost 5. There was more of a bounce in Potter first games than Lampard's, says Nathan Allen. Thank you very much for that, Nathan. Liverpool, I think, have won 2-1 thanks to Danny. Shadow's very happy about that. What does that do for the title? Not the title for Liverpool. What am I talking about? You're drunk, Goldbridge. You're talking out your arse. What does it do for the... Another person grabbing someone's neck again. I'm going to have to tweet about this. I mean, Grealish has got him round the bloody neck. Ridiculous. I mean, look, I don't think, Jack, can I just say, because people will start misinterpreting me, I don't think Jack Grealish should get a red card for that. But that's exactly what Casemiro got a red card for. And that's what I'm saying. That Casemiro was never a red card. And everybody was like, oh, shut up with your red tinted glasses. Well, Grealish should have got a red card then. No, he shouldn't. I'm not saying he should, because bloody Casemiro shouldn't. But they did give one to Casemiro for the same thing. So what? Tell me the bloody difference. Xhaka had Grealish in a headlock. Tell me the difference. It's just stupidity. There's no consistency at all. It's his shirt, Mark, says Harry. Are you thick, Harry? Are you actually thick? He's grabbed his shirt there. Casemiro grabbed it there. So you're now talking about the space of an inch. It's not written into the rules, Harry, that if you grab someone, if you touch the collar, it's a red. It's the way that you grab it. Idiot. Harry thinks that because you touch the collar, you get a red card. If I was born in 2009 instead of 1989, I would have been a City fan, says Mr. Vinegar. Well, who do you support now? I want to make it clear. Jack Grealish should not get a red card. Xhaka should not get a red card. And what I'm talking about is officiating and how Casemiro got that red card from VAR. Like they didn't see it in real time. They did it from VAR, which they could have just done for Grealish, and they don't because they know they got it wrong with Casemiro. They just won't bloody admit it. Still 10 minutes to go here. Still don't think Arsenal have had a decent shot. Oh my God, Arsenal have had one shot on goal, and it was that pass back by Xhaka. Can't see the game plan from Arsenal tonight, says Footy Trivia. No, it's been poor. It's been really poor. Mustafa says, if that's round the neck, you need to have your eyes tested, Mark, with the greatest of respect. Mate, you need to have your ears cleaned out. I don't know what you're talking about. I love people who hear and see things that don't happen. Who said anything about grabbing the neck? I just said Jack Grealish is grabbing his shirt near the neck, the same as Casemiro did. It's exactly the same. And you're not listening to me anyway, because it'll be some stupid City fan going, oh, it's a red, going on about this. I'm not talking. Jack Grealish shouldn't get a red. Xhaka shouldn't get a red for having him in a headlock. What I'm saying is, Casemiro got a bloody red for something that was nowhere near worse and was probably less. And that's what I'm saying. The idiocy of refereeing decisions, which I've been talking about all season. Honestly, Man United under Qatari ownership is the only way to challenge City for the title next season. Arsenal believes tactics isn't sustainable, says Neil. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much. Well, Arsenal have got a free kick here. Could be coming back. No. I was only joking anyway. They're not going to come back. They're done. They're done out here. Chelsea have lost 2-0 to Brentford. Now, it's interesting. Nketiah comes on for Arsenal. Now, if you watch the Etihad game, he missed 3 sitters that could have had a big difference. And again, that's about squad rules, isn't it? You know, that's the difference. Alvarez, Haaland, Nketiah, Jesus. Quality. There's a quality difference there. That's just the way it is. I do think City could have beaten them by more than 3 tonight as well. I think they've probably gone a little bit easy on them now. What's this about? Thomas Tuchel wants Casemiro. Swivel on it. He ain't going to go and play for Bayern Munich. Oh shit, what have I done here? I've lost the chat. Don't worry, I will get it back, but I've lost the chat for the moment, so I'm just going to pretend that everything's okay, because it is. I just need to get my chat back. 10 minutes to go. Can they do it? Can they come? Can they get back into it? Arsenal, of course, they bloody well can't. But I think the hardest thing for Arsenal tonight will be the struggle to, take anything from it. Simon says Kevin De Bruyne has been different gravy. Well, I said this the other day. I was, it was bench, sell, keep. And I think it was Bernardo. But basically, I said I'd bench, start, keep. And I said I would actually bench Haaland Haaland over De Bruyne, because I think De Bruyne's influence is so big. I mean, Arsenal are playing a Man City side that is now just game managing the game, and still Arsenal can't create chances. Beans wants me to be his dad. What if Casemiro says he'll fix Bayern, says Kevin. Casemiro ain't going to leave Manchester United. He bloody loves it. He's not going to leave at all. We need Casemiro. There ain't no way we're doing that deal. No deal. No deal. Well, thoroughly entertaining Premier League title race up until about tonight. You know, it's over in April, isn't it? You know, if you'd have said to me 2 weeks ago, will this title race be over in April? I'd have said, you're having a bloody laugh. Not a chance. But it is going to be over in April. Man, the funny thing is, Arsenal will still be top of the league tonight. And the funny thing is, we'll probably still wake up tomorrow to the mainstream and Talk Sport and everybody probably saying, well, it's not over yet. Come on. You know, I don't need a weatherman to tell me it's raining. And Arsenal fans don't need anybody else telling them it's over. Man City will be 2 points behind Arsenal with 2 games in hand. It's over, and it deserves to be over. You know, they've lost to City twice. Manchester City have proven that they are a better team. As much as I'd love Arsenal to still win this title, they're not going to, because that's not how it works. The chance was really at the Emirates and here tonight, and they've been comprehensively beaten in both. There is only one way of talking about that. So, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. And it's over. They've got a corner here, though, Arsenal. It could still happen. I'm going to stop saying that now. It's even annoying me. Please do subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We're only 100 away from 945,000. Thanks, everyone, for getting involved. Hopefully you will join us for more. I am going to do a match reaction for this game at some point. I'm live on the United Stand straight after, talking about this Glazers Sir Jim deal, which is making me want to throw up. So we'll do that, and then I'll do a match reaction when I've had a little bit of time to think. Oh, they've got a goal back, Arsenal. The comeback is on. Holding scores. The comeback is on. It's definitely not on. It's amazing, isn't it? Rob Holding scores, and yet if he'd actually not been on the pitch, he might have had a better chance. It's going to be offside anyway. No. Won't be offside for that. Won't be offside for that. Don't worry, Arsenal. You will get a goal. You're going to get given a goal here. Stand by me. Nobody knows the way it's gonna be. Oh, why am I singing Oasis as well? What a season Grealish has had. I did say at the start of the season that he was bordering on being a flop if he didn't have a good year this year. I remember last season, Manchester City in April played Champions League quarterfinals, FA Cup, big Premier League games, and he was barely getting 5 minutes in any of them. £100 million signing. A year later, he's starting games. You know, now we know why Pep bought him. They still haven't got Phil Foden, have they, as well? I forgot about him. What a player he is as well. I mean, that's just fucking unbelievable, isn't it, Man City? You forget about Foden. The quality they've got in depth is just scary. It's scary. I forgot about... I mean, imagine forgetting about Phil Foden. Chelsea was playing a front three of Kante, Sterling and Gallagher, and that's no joke, says Basil. I mean, you know what? I've got a lot of respect for nurses. I've got a lot of respect for Chelsea fans for watching that shit at the moment. I don't know how you watch it. Your season's over, and you're getting turned over every game with tactics that really do belong in a pub team. Thing is, the day they were going to appoint Lampard, I was driving up to Manchester and I had Talk Sport on, and it was full of Chelsea fans going, "Oh, it's great to have Frank back. It's a legend. I love this. I love this. I bloody love it." And then, I mean, what's his name? Rory Jennings. I like Rory. And he did that video, didn't he, saying that Haaland's going to flop. I don't think that's the worst video he's done in the last 12 months. I think his worst video was thinking Lampard was a good thing for Chelsea. I'm telling you, I'm listening to all these Chelsea fans go, "Oh, Lampard this, Lampard that." They're in love with the player. They're not in love with the reality. And as United fans, we had it with Solskjaer. We love the player, but the reality is he's a crap coach. Lampard's a crap coach. He was crap at Chelsea. He was crap at Everton. He's crap. He's probably a really nice guy, and if I ever saw him, he probably wouldn't like me because I'm saying he's a crap coach. But you are. Tell me I'm crap at... Well, there's not much I'm crap at, but, you know, what am I really crap at? Golf. I'm crap at golf. If Lampard said to me, "You're really shit at golf, Goldbridge, you're rubbish," I'd go, I am, you're right. You're absolutely right, Frank. You're right, let's go and have a pint. But he's crap at managing. And I'm listening to all these Chelsea fans as I'm driving to Manchester on the radio going, "Oh, he's great. And I'm talking to myself going, he's rubbish. He's rubbish. Do you not know what you're doing? Your manager, your owner's a fool. He's an absolute fool. And he's going to do it again. Pochettino's better than Lampard. He definitely is. But Pochettino's going to end badly as well. I mean, I would be terrified with an owner that has employed 3 managers in 12 months and spent 500 million quid. And I would be even more terrified that he thought Lampard was a good idea. I think you should give the new Star Wars game a go on your gaming streams that comes out on the 28th. As you like story games, just idea, like you did on Grand Theft Auto. I might do, Nathan. I like Star Wars. Crap coach, good guy, Lampard. I like Lampard. I was very impressed with him. I never liked him much as a player, but I knew he was very good. I knew he was good. But I liked him when he was he a pundit? You know what I'm like with pundits. I didn't mind Lampard as a pundit. He's quite intelligent. But he's proper Chelsea, though, says contrary. Look, I hate to say I told you so. I don't like being like that. But But as individuals, we like to have an opinion where we're confident about it. I knew David Moyes would be a bloody disaster at Manchester United, and I was terrified of him getting the job, and I never wanted him to get the job, and it went absolutely tits up. Lampard, I was 100% sure he would be crap. What I will say is I didn't think he'd be this crap. I did actually think he'd get a bounce. He's had all the bounce of roadkill. I'm not bloody playing Hogwarts, brain rot. Do you think Forest are going to stay up? I think that relegation battle becomes the most interesting thing now. You know, I think we thought we were going to get a title race and a top 4 race and a relegation race that went to the end of the month. Unfortunately, the title race has ended up being a bit shit. You know, that's the one to go first. Top 4 race, I think, is going to be over soon. But then again, Villa play Man United on Sunday. Liverpool are still fighting, so it's not over yet. The Star Wars game is time set during the Kenobi show, says Zenova. Okay, might give it a go. I might play it late night stream one night, see how it goes. Although it's out very soon, isn't it? I'd have to do that very soon. I'm live straight after this on the United Stand, by the way. Literally straight away, reacting to this 20% deal. Naylor says he's had all the bounce of a water balloon. Well, I've had plenty of bounces on a water bed, mate. So I don't know how bouncy a water balloon is, but I've had. There's plenty of bounce on a water bed. Here they go. Could be 4. I don't think Haaland's not scored, has he? Amazingly. 50 subscribers away from 945,000. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Please do subscribe. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I'm literally going to go live straight away onto United Stand because apparently the Glazers might be staying because Sir Jim Radcliffe, who was everybody's choice, wants to keep them. Mark, don't play the new Star Wars unless you played Fallen Order. Don't want spoilers to ruin the experience for you, mate, says Sumi. Send Chelsea to the Championship. It's hilarious, says Jack. Oh, he's got his hair down now. Haaland. Oh, no. Why? Why does he think he looks good with hair like that? All that money, all that talent, and he's got hair like John Bon Jovi. Well, he hasn't, has he? Ollie never lost 7 games in a row, says Tuna. Oh, I'm getting a really sore throat here. Horsehair, says Ceres. Right, this is over. I'm going to do a match reaction very, very soon. But Haaland has just scored. He took his... I can't believe... I can't speak. He took his hair down and he scored. He's basically took his bobble out, released his mane, his golden mane, and he scored a goal. 4-0. Hair of a Viking. It's over. Embarrassing for Arsenal. Easy for Manchester City. More Haaland goals. If you've got him in your FPL, you've been waiting for that. Anyway, look, it's over now. Full time. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I'm going to be over instantly in a minute on the United Stand talking about this ridiculous story coming in. So if you want to carry on and see what's happened with that, I'll see you over there in literally 60 seconds. Well done, Man City. Thoroughly deserved it tonight and thoroughly deserved the title. I can't lie. I'll see you in a minute.